I think now you can go on. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Shirley Mwajuma, and I want to welcome you to this session where we believe could be a pivotal moment in your tech journey. So, have you ever felt that the world of technology is moving at lightning speed, and you're worried about being left behind? Behind every gap, every streaming service, every AI tool, there's a complex world you don't quite understand. So you're not alone. Here's the secret. So the engine powering this digital revolution has a name, and it's called cloud computing. That is what we'll be talking about in this session. And the door to this world is not locked, it's just waiting for you to find the right key. So tonight, hosted by Convertex IT Solutions, we are handing you that key. At Convertex, our mantra is to learn, innovate, and disrupt. We don't just teach code careers. We don't just follow trends. We keep you to set them. And tonight, Masterclass, The Sky is the Limit, is a perfect example of that mission in action. So now you might be asking why cloud? Let me put it this way. Cloud skills are no longer a nice to have. They are absolute bedrock of modern tech. It's the most in-demand skill set globally, and yet it remains shrouded in mystery for many. So in this session, we will shatter that mystery. We are going to move from confusion to clarity. Think of this as your personal GPS of the cloud landscape. And in this session, we'll map out the what, that is demystifying the cloud, no cloud, just straight talk. We'll also map out the how, that is the practical step-by-step path from where you are now to a high-value cloud role. And we'll also map out the why, that is how this skill set doesn't just get you a job, but positions you are at the forefront of innovations for years to come. So it's not a lecture, it's a strategic briefing for your future career. So now on this expedition, you need more than just a map reader. You need a guide who has not only navigated this ring, but has also built bridges for thousands to cross over. We are truly privileged to have such a pioneer with us tonight. Please welcome a man whose work is fundamentally shaping the future of tech talent in Africa, Mr. Kevin Tuei. So where do I begin with Kevin? If I listed all his titles like cloud developer, ALX ambassador, AWS, UG, AI stroke ML leader, you'll be impressed. But his true impact lies not in his titles, but in his mission. So Kevin sees technology not as lines of thought, but as a tool for human empowerment. He has undertaken a monumental mission that is to skill 100,000 young Africans in cloud and cybersecurity. This isn't a distant dream, he's already making it a reality. Having personally guided hundreds into meaningful careers, armed with certifications from AWS, Cisco, and Google. But his expertise isn't just in teaching, it's in doing. So as a cloud consultant, he architects real-world solutions that save companies up to 75% in costs. In academia, he has built tech academics from the ground up, producing a generation of certified cloud professionals. So he is in every sense a bridge between learning and opportunity, between ambition and impact. He's the exact person you want in your corner when starting this journey. So without further ado, let's open the floor to a true visionary, Mr. Kevin. Thank you for joining us. The stage is all yours.
Wow. How did you get me to listen to all that about myself? Sometimes it makes me wonder, is that really me? But let me turn on my video because this is awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Let me see it. Can you really see me, or is it really doing my own things? First of all, you can hear me. Thank you. Hopefully you can, and now
Yes,
you
we
can
can hear
see
you.
me. Awesome. Yeah, so
Yes.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Charlie, for that whole breakdown. I was listening to it and it got me really thinking about where we started to where we now are. And as I was preparing for this masterclass, I was thinking out loud. I was like, okay, you've told me it's a masterclass. Should I do slides? Should I not? How should I break this down? But I said I'll combine it with my own story. And again, also, if you feel free, I don't know, we're going to be having questions later on, right? After I make my presentation, I'll be happy to answer as many of your questions as I can, just to make sure that I help you make this journey a little easier than I had it back then. And that is what actually I've been doing. I had a privilege last year to go to AWS reInvent in Las Vegas, which was a culmination of hard work and rejections along the way, and things that someone would have decided to do it and say, okay, no, I don't think I can be able to do it. But let's see how things come out. I'll just make a very small brief presentation about my journey. I'll see whether we can just see these things out. So let's see if I can share my screen a bit. We'll have the one currently presenting do that. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so let's get to this. Let me see if I can share my. I can put this on slideshow mode. And if it takes, oh yeah, if it takes me to that other side, I'll have to take my Google Meet to this side, and then I open my PowerPoint on that side. So I have two screens, so I have to think twice about what I'm doing. Okay, I think now I can share my screen on this other side. That's the old screen, no worries. Yep, so, okay, I think I can do this other slide first. Then I can bring it closer home. Let's start with this one. Let's stop this share first. Okay, then let me bring this slide first. I love this slide because this is the one that I love using when I start out in any masterclass. Okay, from current slide. Yeah, you should be able to see it, right? Kindly confirm that you can see that one. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And you've heard a lot from Charlie, and I felt like I could use these slide to give out a bit of my story and answer the question of why should you listen to me? Why should I be the right person to tell you about what is coming out here? First of all, I come in with like, yes, as you're seeing, 7 years of industry experience, but trust me, the 7 doesn't mean anything because I've only been in cloud and AI for just 3 years. That's the difference 3 years can make for you. It doesn't matter whether for me, I saw a computer in standard 6 and I felt in love with it. Went on to drop anything that was along the way that was droppable to do computer studies in high school. Decided to not go to campus unless I'm doing computer science. If tarmacking was something, I tarmacked for 3 years before joining campus, just because I didn't want to go and do other things that the government said I can go do instead of computer, simply because I didn't meet the cut of the A's that were needed for computer science. But that story around resilience and being very focused on what you want to do, it's what led me to these many other things. And all these things that you're seeing down here, which I'm not going to break them down that much, they all, as Charlie has said, they're not titles. They're actually evidences of me seeking out opportunities to become one thing. And that one thing is being a go-giver. So if you're just less of a go-getter and a go-giver, then you can be able to impact more. And when other people rise, as you've had me make, I've inspired a lot of people, then you also rise yourself even higher. So I started out into cloud consulting. I can tell you that I put in this title for a couple of, I can say, months, even up to a year, without anyone. Can you imagine calling yourself a consultant and none is even coming to consult you? So sometimes you have to manifest the things that you want to be. Right now, I can truly say that people come to me, they consult me, I get money out of it. Not only just free consultations, I also have paid consultations. The other thing that happened is also getting my hands dirty. And through that and being out being in public, landed me this role of being a board member. I usually don't like putting out the CTO title because sometimes it looks too lofty. So I just consider myself as the lead for technology at Solaris Tech. It's an organization registered in the US, has some headquartered in Cameroon, has a presence in Kenya through me and other people, and also has the CEO currently in Canada. And how was I able to get into this? Let me tell you the story around Solaris Tech. So Solaris Tech, I attended one of their workshops. It was just a workshop. And talking of workshop, we had a workshop for Solaris Tech coming this Saturday. Please join in when you can. So what happened in that workshop? It was a workshop to do mirroring of between GitHub and Bitbucket, and ensuring that if you do anything on GitHub, it mirrors to Bitbucket, or if you do something in Bitbucket, it mirrors to your GitHub, depending, because certain organizations maybe are in one particular VCS platform, version controlling system platform. So you were given a run book. It was like a repo you can go and fork. It had all the steps. So I felt like, when you're in a session, and no offense to Nigerians, every step will be bombarded with a question. So I felt like this session will be here for the next 5 hours. And I had a football match to go and watch. It was Saturday for football's sake. And I wanted to go and watch. I think it must have been a very important game. I think those days Manchester United was in its glory days. So I was so curious to go and watch their games. Not as much as these days, but I think they're kind of improving. And what happened is I did it. I did it a little bit fast. Because it was a repo you could fork, I forked it. I did a couple of changes from the things that I saw was an issue or was an impediment from, depending, technology changes. A runbook that is relevant today, even 1 week or 1 month later, you might get into errors. And that was the case. So I did a bit of tweaks on my own kind of updated runbook. And then what I did, because I also wanted to make sure that I'm respectful to the organizers, I sent out a message to the one who I saw on that Zoom call as the host. So I messaged them directly. I said, I've actually finished this workshop. I did a couple of changes on my repo. Here is my repo on GitHub. Check it out. As also gone, those are some of the blockers those who are currently doing it might face. And see you soon. Thank you so much. That was a nice workshop. Little did I know that I sparked curiosity on that person who was the CEO of that organization, Solaris Tech. And they started stalking me. Check on my other repos, checked on my LinkedIn, then said, could we meet on it was on a Saturday. He said, could we meet on a Sunday? Look for me and send me a message on LinkedIn. They said, okay, you can meet just to get to know each other. Thank you so much. And when we met, he said, I was very impressed on what you did. And currently we don't have any person helping us with cybersecurity stuff. Could you come in and become our cybersecurity trainer? And I said, okay, that could be awesome extra dollars to make. And said, okay, we are going to negotiate. Thanks so much for agreeing. I'm having a co-founder. I'm going to have a meeting with him and then come back to you. Long story short from that whole thing is I went on the way I was negotiating for how I'm going to be paid, led them to realizing that I can do more things than just being a trainer for them. And they said, okay, even cybersecurity is not going to start out. We are going to have you in our board as a CTO to help us in terms of our technological trajectory. We still launched later on the cybersecurity program, and then it came out very well. I always say the best way to learn is to teach. So always anyone can teach. Even right now, what you're doing here currently is creating a community where people can have an opportunity to share knowledge. So I'm currently focused in computer science. I have a master's in computer science, currently wrapping up on my at the research stage of my PhD in computer science. But I don't consider myself an academia person. I just do it because it kind of comes a little bit easier on me. And since I'm in the campus space, then definitely where there's a business of selling education, you cannot be the one who is not taking it up. I also have done a couple of things in cybersecurity, but please, I'm not a hacker, I'm not a pen tester. I hate CTFs. It doesn't mean that if you are in cybersecurity, you can do that, or you can hack a girlfriend's phone and all the other things that come into those who think that is all about cybersecurity. AIML has been my focus since 2019. When I started out, that was when I was doing my master's, and I did something around classification models. That time there was no Gen AI, ChatGPT was not a thing, but I was really interested in the classical machine learning. I've later on gotten to have an interest in data analytics, although it's not my strength area. I also got an opportunity to go to Kigali for being a gold fellow. I applied, and this is one thing that you can learn out of things. When you show up, you're already ahead of almost 70% of other people. We were given an opportunity. I knew we were in a pool of 60 people across Africa, and there were only 3 slots to go to Kigali for a Bits of Boldness event. It was one of the biggest events on African leadership. And I said, let me apply. Then I realized I've gotten to the next stage. Then I was told, create a 1-minute video and send it by this time. Within a 1 hour's time, I did it. By that constantly showing up, I got that opportunity, and it was a fully paid trip. And this time, I think this Gold Fellowship is no longer a program within LX, but it still gave me a big opportunity, because that connects back to when I got to go to reInvent. Because when I was asked whether I've gone to any country outside Kenya, that was the opportunity, and it led me to getting the coveted US visa. I've also done things around AWS Academy. I've helped them build projects and review projects. In that, I've done a Atlassian Community Champion. That is, the Atlassian Community is the program for things around project management in the Atlassian ecosystem. We are currently 2 champions in Kenya, myself and another good friend of mine called MK, Michael Kimathi, who is leading the Nairobi community, and I'm leading the Meru community. And also creating content is also their thing. Anytime I want to learn something new, I join a community of people. So I joined PMI to learn more about project management. When I wanted to learn about information security audit at a global level, I also joined here. Although I'm no longer the campus outreach lead, I moved committees. I'm currently now in the membership and communications committee of the chapter, because definitely you want new challenges. I also joined, as I've said, when I want to learn something new. I've currently been interested in data privacy. So I joined the Data Privacy and Governance Society of Kenya, DPGSK something, as a member to learn more about data privacy and the things around the Data Protection Act. This is kind of updated. I currently hold 6 AWS certifications. And by the end of the year, before I turn 2026, I'll be having the 7th one. I'll not say which one, but you'll see it on LinkedIn. And so really into project management. So you can see all these things as much as, and this is just the things I've decided to highlight. There are many other different things, like HashiCorp user group leader, like a Nairobi DevOps community assistant director, and other things. Sometimes I even forget the things that I'm part of. As you said, LX community ambassador. And I'm also a technical mentor at Moringa School. So many different things. Sometimes I even lose track of the things that I am. But the thing about all those different things that I do is I find a lot of pleasure in them. And that takes us to something else that I wanted you to see, which is when you're talking about your journey to the cloud. Now that I've gotten your attention a bit and you've seen that, you should actually listen to me a little bit. Is you should not be worried about minimal resources. But one thing is, you might be having minimal resources, but the biggest thing, my biggest mantra this year, my keyword, sometimes when you start an year, you have to start an year with a word. Last year, my word of the year was phenomenal. So everything I was saying, anything I'm doing, be phenomenal. In anything I'm doing, be phenomenal. And at the end of it all, I ended the year on a high by going to Las Vegas. This year, it has all been about curiosity. Last year, no, I was not known about anything in AI/ML space. I even forgot to tell you that I'm also the user group leader of the third AWS user group in Kenya. That is AWS AI/ML user group Kenya. And the reason how I became the user group leader is after I went to reInvent and came back, I felt there's very little discussion around the AI/ML space and what I saw there. So I said, why not start a user group? It was scary at first. Can you imagine in February, we were only 5 leaders. Currently, we are over 600 members on Meetup. And that scaling on such a very short notice has been the work of not one person, but giving other people an opportunity. And that is what I love about your community, is that you give people an opportunity to share knowledge, share experience, and also get an opportunity to learn from those who have gone ahead. The other thing that I did a lot, I became an AWS community builder. Right now, community builder is one of the hardest programs in AWS to get into. It has a 13% acceptance rate. That means that if 1,300 people apply, I think around only 300 people all over the world are accepted. I joined it back in, was it 2023? Currently, I'm in 5 years. I've done 5 years of AWS Community Builder. And how did I get in? I was creating video content. If I show you my video content that made me become a community builder, you'll be shocked. I have a YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel is not the one that I do. Come subscribe to my channel. I don't do that. I'm not that good with that. But that channel is where I think of it like a repository of videos that I've put there, or sometimes when I want to share on something. So this is the channel, and please don't go bash me on it. I don't do much on it. It has some few subscribers who believe in the things I put there. And one thing you can see here, let me show you. Let me show you a video that made me a community builder back then. Let me see. This one I was sharing for some people. Oh, this is when I had a good friend of mine. Do I even have it here, or it's an unlisted video? Maybe it's an unlisted video. Let me see. I'm not sure if it's there. I would even sit on my bed to do a video. Let me see. These are just latest. These all of them, really. Let me see. It was about AWS Academy. I think it's an unlisted video. Let me see if I can switch my profile. Let me switch my profile and see whether it's going to show me those videos. Your videos. Let me show you. You'll be very shocked. Sometimes be happy with the mess. The reason why I'm taking time to show you this is be happy with the mess that you make. So let's see whether it's an unlisted. It must be an unlisted video. And it was me supporting people to join AWS. Let me see. Did I even upload it here? AWS Academy. Yeah, so you can see this was me back in 2022. I was streaming videos even seated behind a mattress behind me. So you can see, and I would stream videos as long as 3 hours. 3 hours of me teaching content on, and then they were the ones I just posted out. I would even do videos on the couch, but I would just give people an opportunity. And I think I would just charge them a commitment fee of 1,000 shillings. I don't remember. So this was back then. You can see it was streamed just 2 years ago. I would have some cloud training sessions. Then I shared that to become a community builder. And there was even time I felt like I would do. I think I even had a MacBook. I can just in up here. But yeah, I think life happened and I got tired of doing things around on Mac. Yeah, so but that just goes to show you it's unlisted for a reason. Because I think I'm not supposed to put out AWS Academy content, but I was sharing with people who I was doing. I've even trained on Restart. I even just realized that. But I've done a lot of things in that space. But let's get that out of the way. So one thing I did is I learned the best way to learn is to teach. It looks like an oxymoron. How can you teach and you don't know? And how can you be learning while you're teaching? I've done that so many times. There's even time I've trained people who their jobs I cannot even qualify for. I've even trained people a lot. Let me not mention like that, but I've trained I've trained people who are working in the Ministry of ICT, people work for Safaricom, work for Communications Authority, like people who you would get imposter syndrome the moment you hear you're in a Google Meet with them, because the moment they start introducing themselves and putting the titles that they hold, you'll be like, I cannot, even if I start interviewing for that role, I'll not get it. But there you are, you've been entrusted to increase their knowledge. And that goes to show that as you grow and as you do things, the best way is to learn. And then please don't fear getting certifications. If you can, and if you have the ability, or the moment you do the first one, you get 50% off on the second one when you pass. But try them out. When there are opportunities by communities like my own community, when we give you vouchers, if they're there, take advantage. For example, we ran together my 2 user groups. I think it was funny thing. I'm leading 2 user groups, then I brought them together to do a certification challenge on Terraform. And then it changed the life of one person. It is called Nelson. I even saw him from zero to talking in HashiTalks Africa. I applied and I was accepted. Then I wanted to see the other Kenyans who are presenting. And I was like, wow, this guy, just the other day, he got the Terraform Associate certification from our own challenge. Right now, he's already speaking in HashiCorp conferences. And that is the thing that you can be able to do the moment you consistently show up. And the other thing is, when you join communities, there's an article I've written. When you join communities, please don't join. I don't join communities where I participate. If you realize the many communities that I've talked about, there's none that I've said I'm a member. Have you realized that? One, I'm saying I'm an assistant director. Another one, I'm saying I'm the leader. The other one, I've said maybe I'm volunteering on something. There's none I've said I'm just there waiting for someone to do things for me. In any community I am in, I'm either in as a volunteer, I'm either going there as an organizer. There's no way I'm going there to sit back and relax. And if I join a community and I realize that I'm going to sit back and relax, I leave that community there and then. Why? Because I know that by sitting back and relaxing, I'm doing myself a disservice in that particular space. So cloud really changed my life. It made me go on an intercontinental trip for the first time. It actually made me get opportunities that I could not even realize. I didn't even know that until I was tagged by some famous lady on LinkedIn that I was the #1 cloud computing LinkedIn creator in Kenya. I think last year. I don't know whether I'm still #1 under Favicon, but #1 there. That means that I'm consistently creating content that people in the cloud computing space consider important, right? And the truth is, because this is a masterclass, just know that the demand is rising. If it was not, I would not be here talking about even right now with AI, it has accelerated that whole thing. There's a lot of people who want content creators, technical mentors, documentarians, if I can call them, DevOps engineers, AI ML engineers, vibe coders, QA engineers, like auditors, IS auditors. Like I cannot even mention. For example, they can see SRE, site reliability engineers, solutions architects, especially solutions architects. There is that. And that means because there's a scarcity, you can negotiate. I've ever negotiated a gig where I was given an offer of 25,000 and I gave them a counter offer of 150,000. A counter offer. It was just a 1 week gig to do some corporate training. And I told them, okay, you know the way people tell you, let's go, we'll come back. They thought they'll go there and find someone cheaper. But anytime they went there, they were being told, have you asked Kevin Tuei? Have you asked Kevin Tuei? Have you gone? So by the time they were going back, they were only told another name, maybe 1 or 2 other names. Then they realized if all these people are telling them, go seek out Kevin Tuei is the best at that and can give you something. They came back to negotiate. And then I told them, because it's an initial gig, let me do it for you like 100,000 if you can. But if you can't, we can leave it. Then they say, okay, we'll agree. That tells you that you have a higher negotiating power when there is scarcity in a particular domain. And also, not only that, if you are the best at what you do and people out there know you. So the first pillar is you have to get your foundations right. You cannot come in and try to be like me, where I can do cloud consulting and I can do things around cloud security. Right now, I'm doing around AWS, IML, and all those stuff, and you haven't done your basics. It's like trying to compare apples to oranges. That cannot work. So you have to get to know your compute, storage, and networking basics very fast. I know I saw a very good friend of mine. I think I saw, yes, Charlie? How much time do I have? Yes, you want to say something?
Yes, you are really breaking sometimes. Yeah, I can't hear something. So I don't know if it cuts across.
Is it breaking for everyone? Kindly, sorry about that. Okay,
Yeah, it does.
Let me see if I can switch. Okay, sorry about that. Let me see what I can do, but I'm connected to Safaricom and do done. Yeah. Let me see. Maybe I don't know. Let me see if I can. Don't know that they might. If I switch to Airtel, whether it will change, make things any better. But let me see.
I don't
Maybe
think
what
so.
I can do, I can stop my video so that it makes it better. Can I stop my video? Does stopping my video make it better?
I don't think so. Yes, that's true.
Am I still breaking, or is a microphone issue? I can change my microphone. Is it better now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. In case it breaks again, just let me know and I'll see how best I can work on these. Yeah. So as I was saying, is build your foundation, get to know the building blocks of any cloud, regardless whether it's AWS, whether it's Azure, whether it's GCP, Oracle, OCI, name them. Whatever they all have elements of compute, storage, networking, and identity and access management, or better known as security. Then also get to have your Linux basics good. I think there's this introduction to Linux by Think Linux Foundation. It's a free course. Do it, get to the end of it, just to make sure that you learn your Linux well. There are a lot of self-taught resources that are out there. As I've said, also within networking, know things around VPCs, that is the virtual private cloud, routing, things around firewalls. Just get to know your basics right. And how can you do this? You need to know how to document. Please document your story. I'm currently on Medium, and I can tell you there's an article I wrote, I think 1 or 2 years ago. Let me see if I can show you that, because I'm the kind of person who is show don't tell, as you have realized. So this is my Medium. Medium is so important to me that I even decided to be a member on it. Let me show you that. They're even paid to become a Medium member, so that I can even read the member only stories. So let me show you that article. I've written a couple of articles here, but this article, let me just even show you my statistics. So I always get notifications around things. Okay, some people followed me. This is interesting. You can see even a member decided to subscribe to get notifications. Okay. I wanted to show you some statistics. Where do you usually please see stats? I think it's stats. Oh, the new sidebar. Okay, here it is, the stats. Let me show you something under stats. There's something. So you can see I've done 3 or 4 presentations, 75 views. I think this is just from November 1st. I've had 74 and I've added 3 followers, something like that. And if you look at it, let me see if I can find. Okay, I didn't even list this one. Okay. Where is that? There's one that was always done a lot of things. This one. Do you see this blog article? 1.3 thousand views, 1.3K views, and 742 reads. Meaning that people, anytime anyone wants to think about connecting AWS code build to a GitHub repository, they look at this article. It has a 55% read ratio. It has done like two readers have ever followed me. Right now, this month alone, it has 30 views. And you can see how far long. I wrote it on July 1st, 2024, but it still racks up. You can see Google keeps on telling people to come to my page, DuckDuckGo, Bing, Bing, even Gale.udemy. I didn't even know that, and other referrals. So that comes to tell you that there's an importance in writing articles. When I wrote it, I didn't even think it will continuously be one article that will help builders until even beyond when I even think. So when you start thinking in the form of architectures and how things work out, you'll be able to do more in that space. So write, because everyone has a story to tell. If you look at that article, if you go read it, there's nothing magical about that article. It is just solving a pain point that people have. People have a pain point of how to connect code build with GitHub. That is the only thing that it does. So these small things, you don't have to write a manuscript of things. Just find something that you love doing and continue documenting it out there. The second thing is build projects. I can tell you, for me to become a gold fellow, I presented a nanny project. I still remember it like the back of my hand. And I presented it as if I worked on it with a client, but I used this platform. I love this platform from one African to another called Cloud Academy. And I just did it end to end. This guy is called Demofo, he's an AWS hero, and he has built a platform for some people to learn. I think even now he has expanded. I can see it's even learning AWS, Azure, and such. This Cloud Academy. So I did one on one course here, and it became my pet project on GitHub. Don't know if it is here, but you can see this building smarter emails. Okay. Building real-time agents. So I think it was was it a beginner? Let me see. But I think there was something. These are beginners. I think it should have been an intermediate. Let me show you. The thing is here. Hope it's not. Hope it's not. I think it's come back. But you can see like something like this one, building a charity connect real-time donation platform with AWS events, APIs, and such. Come in, do this thing for like 2 hours. I don't know if this is available for free, but I did a very small thing here. I don't know if it was advanced. You can see even an Airbnb clone, apartment complex management system, smarter emails, chat. Yeah, I think there are some things. I don't know if that one was removed or something, but I think, I don't know if it was containers, whether it's introduction. Was it an introduction? It was just, let me see if, is it Aglani or he removed it? Maybe he removed it, but Yeah, so there are many things you can come in. It is not the only platform. I'm just using one that is a very free. I think you can even start for free, build out some things. Just make sure you build things. I used that one. I went to an interview, presented it as if I've ever done it and got paid for it. And it gave me an opportunity, even when I didn't have an opportunity. Look at designs, look at architectures. I wish I could show you some architectures. Something that you can go check out is, and I come with, let me just show you this. So if you come to google.com, come in here, search AWS reference. Like, okay, for me, I'm just talking about AWS, but you can think about any other. So there's this thing called AWS reference architecture diagrams. So if you come in here and look at whatever they are,
Yeah, really breaking.
Mr. Kevin, you're really breaking. You can't hear anything you're saying. Hello, can you hear me? You're really breaking. I don't know if you can hear me. Mr. Kevin, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're speaking. We can't hear you still. I've seen the link on the chat. Hello, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can you hear me? What if I'd like to suggest something? What if you log out and then you log in again just for a minute? It don't take a lot of time. So to our audience, let us give our Mr. Speaker time, just a minute. Let's see if you log out and log in again, and I'll join the meeting again if it still works. Kindly. Mr. Speaker, the audience, please stay put. Yes, just let's give him a minute so he can.
It's better now. Am I audible now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. So let me take it a little bit faster so that I can also answer questions. Yeah. So the other thing that I was saying, when I break, just let me know. And yeah, you can just unmute. Just feel free. Is just to make sure that you do certifications. As I've said, the beauty about certification is they structure your learning. They keep you under the pressure of renewing them or doing a higher certification to keep them active. That makes you become a lifelong learner. Even if you don't have enough resources to sit a certification exam, preparing for them aligned to that is helping a lot. So this is the triple combination that works out is certifications plus projects plus community. They bring you together to the winning combination. As again, make sure you have soft skills. For me, there's one thing that I was so poor at, which was communication. I used to have a lot of ahs and ums and going again and again beating around the bush, articulating words in a way that someone cannot know what I've actually talked about. To a point now, I now decided to become conscious. I got into trainings, even ones by Toastmasters. That helped a lot. So make sure that you check on what you don't know and improve, especially your communication, whether it's written communication, whether it's verbal communication, because they represent you. Even before someone wants to know your work, if the moment they see you cannot communicate with each other well, you're done for. Join the right tech communities. Like this community is an amazing community. Don't just join and be there. Ask for opportunities to not only collaborate, but also to volunteer. Very important. And as I've said, please share that content on LinkedIn. You come in here, you've seen me present. Take a screenshot of me presenting. Tag me, say the things that you've learned. That way, when I come in and comment on whatever post you've made, I give you a little bit of visibility to the many number of followers that I do have. That plays a huge part. There are some people who have made it even a business of coming together. The moment they post, they send each other's posts, and then everyone comments and reposts and interacts with each other's posts. But there's one thing that I've learned today from a certain event I was on. Don't just comment in your own community's people. Comment in the posts of those who you want to be your prospective clients. For example, if you want Steve Bartlett to be your client, go and be constantly commenting on their posts. If you want Mwangi or whoever to become your client, don't go and just comment on your peers' posts and people at your own level. Go and comment on people who you want to become your mentors. People, go and interact with their posts. Don't just comment and like on the post of your own supporters. Then I wanted to do a demo, but I'll pen that for another session so that Bill and Tim can invite me. I would have done a demo just to show you how quickly you can set yourself up for success on AWS. So this is how the AWS Management Console looks like. And one place, if you have an account, if you don't have an account, just go and sign up for it, is Lightsail. Lightsail is an easy place to start on AWS, and you'll be good to go in no time. So that's the console of how AWS looks like. For me, I do have like 3 or 4 AWS accounts, one for my learning, one for clients, one for testing and prototyping stuff, and one just in case things hit the fan. And then again, I love there's a friend of mine who is on this call. It's called Chris Pinas. And for example, you can see, do you see these instance? I did this, I think, as a demo. Wow, I still continue running it. I didn't even know that it is running. It is eating me up credits. I think it's free maybe. But I think these I was doing it in a certain Masterclass. Let me see let's look at what it stands for. The domain, what is the DNS? What is the A record? IPv4 address, static IP is this one. Let's see whether there's a domain here. So you can see if you go and open these up, these are a demo, a fully fledged demo having a WordPress instance on Lightsail. So avoid just having shared services. You can see it's a whole website. And imagine I did this whole website. Part of it, I think I just built it from a theme, a fully fledged website. And it's running, I think you get 90 days free. Check it out. I think you get 90 days free of testing out things on Lightsail on AWS. Check it out. And for example, if you come in and just say you want to create an instance, you can see you get, if you choose any, you get 90 days free, whether it's $5 as little. And the beauty about this money, it's very precise. You're not going to get more. So when you're starting out, it is easy. And you can see for these ones you get, and you can test out some couple of things, see how things work out. And you'll be saying you're already building on AWS. So I always say, if you want to start out on things around compute and the basics, come in and try out. And they have different blueprints, even Windows, if I'm not wrong. Free, I think this is OS. Even Windows is here if you want a Windows server. And you even still get the first 90 days free once you have an AWS account. So that is one thing that I wish I could have done, but I don't have time. But these are your nuggets. Remember, your GitHub is your real CV. Don't work so much on a PDF that doesn't count anything on what you have not built. Show your work, please. I cannot overstate this. Show your work on Medium, show your work on YouTube, show it wherever you want, show it on LinkedIn, just show your work. And then apart from showing your work, show up. When the way you have showed up for this event, you are way ahead of the many people who showed interest in attending this event and did it. Again, it's not, I ended to avoid talking about AI, but AI plus cloud is your advantage. The people who are going to replace you or make you relevant are not those who can just do, it's not AI, it's those people who know how to use AI together with the cloud. And consistency will always beat talent. I know there must be people who I started with back in 2022 with AWS, but they are nowhere near where I am, simply because they decided to be inconsistent. They gave up along the way. They decided to go AWS, Azure, OCI. They were just jumping all over the place and they didn't find purpose in what they are doing. As I've said, please learn, build, and finally, trust me, you will earn. Sometimes people ask me, how do you do what you do? I think I have a couple of passive income. Sometimes I see someone calls me, Kevin, Kevin, have you seen the money in your account? Then I have to ask them which account, because say, oh, you are this bank account. Then I go there, I see a couple of tens of thousands of shillings. Then say, oh, that one was for the work that you did this other time. Because I've gotten to a point where I sometimes even work, I forgot that I even did that work, and they say they're going to be paying me. Then I start getting the money later on. Then I realize, okay, I have more than enough to spend. But doesn't mean that I'm rich, but it means that I spend less than I earn. So the moment I spend less than I earn, I have enough freedom to do more things with my money. So live that kind of a life where you spend less than you earn. And one thing can you do when you're starting today? Please start that project. I've told you about so many different things, but the only thing that is in your control that you can do is build that project. You're already part of a community. You can even join my community in terms of AWS AIML if you want to. But one thing I would like you to do is please commit to learning. I know the year is ending. People are getting into festivities, but that can also be your best time to put your head down and do something beneficial for you. I can tell you there was one day I did a certification exam on January 2nd. Can you imagine that? People are enjoying Happy New Year. They are enjoying eating chapatis and cuckoos and everything. But there I am, have to sit down and sit a solutions architect associate exam back then. That is what it means to commit. So that's it. Thank you from me. And see you on the next one. I've deliberately kept the demo so that you can call me for another one. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, speaker. Thank you for that insightful session. And I can see someone has raised, Amanda, do you have any questions to the audience? Do you have any questions for our speaker? Now it's your time. You can either raise your hand You can either raise your hand so that you'll be given a permission to speak, or you can type. You can use the chat box to type your message, and then we'll read it out. Yes, any questions? No questions.
I'd like
Okay.
I'd like to shout out Crispinus Jacob. He has to have a question. He's an amazing guy. He's an AWS Cloud Club captain and a good friend of mine, and also I think I volunteer in my AWS user group. You guy, you have to say hi. And he also shares a lot of opportunities in his community, especially around planning. It reminds me of when I was young. Anyways, I'm just joking. Hi, Jacob. Say hi to your people.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Kevin, it was just an insightful session. I've been following along since the start, and I'm still learning from you and still applying in the real world. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I think all of us have learned something through this session. Our speaker have said that he has a lot more to offer, so we'll talk with the Convertex team so that unaona ame hold off demo, anataka tumwite tena, so we'll we'll organize that and then we'll let you know. So to our audience, I see our speaker has shared the DAX.
Okay, sorry. Let me share with you my Prairie card. This Prairie card I was given. It was shipped out. I don't know if I have it here, Frederica. Let me see if I have it here. I can show you if it is here. Yeah, it is here. I don't know. Can you see this card? Can you see it? Okay, it's just that.
Yes, I can see something. I can see it's 2024.
Yeah, so there's a card here that I got from speaking for Japan AWS Pancreation. So
Wow.
this card is an NFC card. So anytime you come in and you have an iPhone or a phone that has NFC, you can just get my contact on it, and it also pings to this URL that I'm sharing that has my everything, including LinkedIn and such. So I was given, even when they were sending, they were saying they didn't know whether things can get to Kenya because they've never had a Kenyan speaker at their event. So sometimes showing up plays a huge part. So that's my Prairie. It has my X, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, Discord, GitHub, TikTok.
Okay.
You can just click on that and you'll find me there.
Yes, so he's shared the link for messages. So if you want to reach out, it's good to have a mentor. Let's say you're starting out, you're still starting your cloud computing journey. It's good to have a mentor, someone to look up to. Like our speaker is very experienced in that industry. So we have a question from Brian Yeggs. He's asking, given the fact that tech field is so wide, how did you decide on which route to take from the onset?
So the truth of the matter is I didn't choose a field on the onset. I always say you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. If I tell you the things I've done, you'll be shocked. Like you have to try so many things to know the things you hate. You cannot hate things. Ni kama kuchukia mtu for no reason. And that ujai mdate na unamchukia tu. Why? So you don't have to do that. So try out things, then you just know it doesn't work for you. And then you can get to know, that is the only way to get to know the things you're going to specialize. I tried a lot of different things. I even tried the Kotlin and Android map app development, and then my laptop crashed, and that is when I knew that is not for me. So
you saw the sign.
Yes. So I still have a very precious Google Play developer console account that I know people are really wishing they can have. So I've tried so many different things, but no offense to people who do mobile app development, all respect to them, because wow, it's not an easy space. Yeah. So try out things.
We have a raised hand from Hillside. Hillside, yes, you may speak. May I ask a question?
Thank you so much. My name is actually Steve. It was a very good session, Kevin, and I really loved it. Actually, I'm a recent graduate. I did my CCP. And my question is, I would like to know how I can move forward. I've tried getting opportunities, how I can go into solution architect and other certificates. How did you manage to get your 7 certification? Did you pay for them, or how did you utilize opportunities like that?
Okay. So the truth of the matter is I've never paid for any of my AWS certifications. None. Like I've never paid any money. So how did I get 7 of them? First of all, when I became a community builder, you get 1 free voucher every year for as long as you're active. So if I tell you I've been there for 5 years, okay, you can clearly see that those are 5 vouchers, right? And then when I went to reInvent as a grant recipient in Las Vegas, we also given a voucher. When during COVID, there was a certification challenge for CCP for Sub-Saharan Africa. I think that is when I did my cloud practitioner. So I've not paid. It doesn't mean that to pay is bad, but since there is an opportunity for me not to pay, why should I pay? And I think I have dozens of 50% of vouchers, 50% vouchers from passing. When you pass one exam, you get a 50% of voucher for your next exam. So that is, but I'm planning to pay for, I think there's one, for me to get all 12 of them, there's at one point I'll have to pay for 1 or 2 of them. Maybe the 50%. There's no way because I cannot wait 12 years to do the 12 certifications. At some point I'll have to pay. But that is how I've been able to do it. For you to get opportunities, please don't focus on certifications. Trust me, CCP cannot do much for you. Build, build, build. Build fast, fail fast. Don't have an emotional attachment to your architectures, to your projects. Break them, build them up again, delete that whole repo and start from scratch. Even these days with vibe coding and spec driven and the cursors and the Kiro, you can do it very fast. So please build a lot up to a point where you become a grandmaster in what you do. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from Convertex. As a beginner, what certification to start with?
It depends on your goal, on your starting goal. But if you are starting out very fresh, I would advise start with a foundational certification so that you get an idea of how certification exams are. And it also gives you a whole iota of, not iota, iota is small, a whole aura of confidence for you to do the next one and the next one. Before I did my security specialty, which was the very first 3-hour crazy exam, I had done several associate certifications. That means that I had the resilience to survive through a 3-hour exam without the worry that power might go off and other different things that are out there, because I knew what I needed to do to answer as many questions as fast as possible. And it doesn't matter. The beauty about certifications is that they make you a little more respected in the industry, but it doesn't compensate for you not knowing your trade, not knowing your skills, and not knowing the things. I know there's a whole debate around skills versus certifications, but I would say if you can get them both, why not? Get them both, please. That is what it can do for you. I've even tried out doing KCNA and I passed it. I didn't know I would even want to love Kubernetes. How could I do that? Right now I'm already thinking, should I do CCAD or should I do CKA and other different things within the Kubernetes space and the containerization space? And one time someone asked me, do you have knowledge in containerization so that you can train? The organization says they want someone with some knowledge in containerization. The moment I said I've done Kubernetes and Cloud Native Associate, they said, wow, you are the right person, even though it's just a basic certification at the very start to show that you have an understanding of the Kubernetes ecosystem. So just make sure that you do that. I think I've answered also Braniel's question on what impact of certification had on my journey. They've made me a little bit more respected. They've also made me understand more technologies. They have also made me a lifelong learner. That is what they have done. And it has structured my journey in learning so that I'm not all over the place. Because when you do when you get onto a certification journey, you have to be very focused. You have to be focusing on that one thing and what that thing that will help you get to pass that certification. But I always say, don't worry about the certification. Worry about the process. Enjoy the process. Love the process of preparing for that certification. And when the certification comes, it becomes a bonus. It becomes something else that appears on your email. But if you focus on you using that badge on your email or using that pass on the screen, then you'll fail. But if you enjoy the journey, the certification will become just a bonus. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I don't think you have any other question from the audience. So thank you so much, our speaker for tonight on cloud computing. Thank you for your time and yes, and for sharing your knowledge with us. I know you have a lot to share, and we'll look into that later and schedule another masterclass. Yes, so thank you so much. To our audience, thank you. Yes, thank you for to our audience. Thank you for attending for showing interest and attending and being here and being interactive. Yeah, so back to CodeVertex. We will be offering we'll be running a free 2-week Python accelerator bootcamp. Yeah, so Python is a programming language for those who don't know. So if you have any interest in learning about Python, it's a free 2-week Python accelerator bootcamp. So in the 14 days, you learn about Python from scratch. You'll be able to master data structures and algorithms. You'll understand object-oriented programming and its functions, and also you'll be able, at the end of that 14 days, you'll be able to build a real capstone project. So no experience is needed, and it's perfect for beginners waiting to start a tech career. Even if you want to upgrade, maybe you have some basic knowledge, you want to know more about Python. Yes, so let me share with you the link where you can register for that masterclass. I've shared it. Let me pin it. I've shared it on the chat. So you can click the link, register, so that we can, yes, it's even been shared by CodeVertex. So you can sign up for the masterclass through that link. Remember, it's a free, it will be daily for 2 weeks. So it's free. So once you sign up, the time for the masterclass will be communicated, and then we'll start. So yes, so about CodeVertex, we also offer other courses. Right now, we still don't offer cloud computing, but you know that we have connections with the experts in the field. So yes. Another thing, we have socials, CodeVertex IT Solutions socials. So you can follow us there and get insights, tech insights that we always share. So we always have these tech masterclasses on Thursday, every Thursday. So last week we did a different topic with different speaker. This week it was about cloud computing. Next week it might be about something else. So you can, after signing up, you can sign up, and then you'll be able to be linked to our CodeVertex community. Could share right now, but I'm not having the links right now. So you can as well do that. So anything else, I'd like to invite Bill so that he can give us closing remarks. Welcome, Bill.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Kevin. So maybe like we can clap for our speaker and Charlie. They have done a good job.
Our speaker mostly.
Yeah, so maybe like Kevin, like I'm sure like I'm going to call you for some follow-up event. Then if you have any vouchers, you can share it with our audience. And many more. So thank you guys for showing up. And next week, like we'll be doing some topic on cybersecurity, and I'll be looking forward to seeing all of you. So Kevin, thank you for showing up. And if you have any vouchers that maybe you can share with us, we'll be grateful. Yeah, so I guess the event is over, and thank you all for showing up.
Bill, before we name Crispy, is it? Sorry for naming your name wrong. Crispinas is asking, how do we get updated if there's any new masterclass? So I'm sharing with you our community, CodeVertex community link. I'm sharing with you our CodeVertex community link. So you can WhatsApp community, so you can join there. We always share the details about the masterclasses there. So you can join there, or you can sign up for the Python masterclass. Yes, Bill, you may continue.
Yes, I think we are done. And thank you all for joining the event. Thank you.